Hmm. So taking some time here to get settled in and checking in with our posture. So the ideal meditation posture is alert yet relaxed. And so sitting up tall, whatever that means for you, maybe you have either a wall or the back of a chair behind you that you can lean against for support. We want to make sure that this posture isn't so uncomfortable that we're focused on the sensations in our bodies versus being able to be present here. So, taking some time to settle in. And as we check in with the sensations in our bodies, notice if there is a different way you'd like to sit. Maybe your body feels a little different than it usually does. Maybe you'd like your cushion set up a little bit differently. Sometimes I'll place extra folded blankets under my knees to support my knees. Recently, my hips have been a little tight, so I've been adding extra cushion under my hips to sit up a little taller. And I find that that is really helpful and supportive for me. So, again, all of this, instead of trying to force our body or our mind to be a certain way, we're checking in with what's there. So, taking a few breaths. Maybe these breaths are a little bit bigger than usual. And then just really noticing our natural breath, feeling that rhythm of each inhale and exhale, marveling that we breathe all day and all night. And something really magical happens when we let ourselves notice this breath. You can maybe feel the expansion of each inhale and the softening of each exhale. Maybe that helps you be more aware of the sensations in your body. How does an inhale feel different than an exhale? I like to use my breath to inform my posture. So with each inhale, sitting up a little taller, and with each exhale, relaxing and releasing down, softening shoulders, softening my jaw. And so it doesn't matter if I've started to slump a little bit, each inhale gives me an opportunity to sit up a little taller and just get curious. What's going on in your mind and body today? Today, I wanted to bring some teachings from yoga into our meditation practice. Some of you might know that yoga poses or movements are a very tiny part of yoga. And there is a text called the Yoga Sutras. This is one of my favorite translations. It has some other information in there, Living with the Sutras by Kelly DiNardo and Amy Pierce Hayden. And what I love about the sutras is they begin with this reminder of let's begin. And that's how we start each meditation practice, um, reminding ourselves that it's time for meditation. And maybe this is true for you. It certainly is for me, that just by setting up my cushion, sitting down in this spot in my office, beginning to notice my breath, there's definitely parts of me that go, oh, we're meditating now. And sometimes that's oh, we're doing this, let's drop into the space. And sometimes there's resistance. And so again, it's all just noticing. So the next two lines, yoga is the mastery of the mind's fluctuations. When the mind is steady and calm, we know our true nature. So remembering that our mind is meant to move, it's meant to change and shift. And what we're doing here is looking beneath the surface. I know some people find 30 minutes to be a little bit of a long meditation, but by taking that time, you've got some time to have your mind resist and then maybe soften. Sometimes we don't get past that resistance in our shorter practices, even though they certainly have benefits. But reminding yourself that there's not a specific way your mind is expected to be. You're just seeing what's there. I love the metaphor of the pond with ripples on the surface. And it's only when the surface of the pond is clear that you are able to see into the depths. And I think that's true for most of our day. Many of us are quite busy. And so taking this time to check in, what is important to you? What are the qualities that are innately you? And as we move into deeper self-exploration, you can get curious with each quality. Is this truly me? Or is this something I was given and told to want it? Really practicing that self-compassion of truly being okay with whatever it is you notice. This is a space of curiosity. And even our thoughts themselves. If there's a particular thought that keeps running through, getting curious, why is this thought running through? I turned to meditation because I was experiencing a lot of anxiety, worry, all that fun stuff. And so if there's something that's really stuck in your mind because you'll worry or you'll forget it, perhaps keeping a little notepad next to you and just making a note of the thing. And then you can allow it to settle in your mind. It doesn't need to keep zooming through. You can resume after practice. But in this space, we are allowing the ripples on the surface of our mind to begin to settle so that we can see that depth. And surface ripples, just like the snow globe that I sometimes use as a metaphor. You have to not touch them to get them to settle. When we bring our human involvement, we just make the ripples more prominent. You can't get the glitter to settle in a snow globe by shaking it more. So visualize yourself taking this step back and just giving your mind the space to soften, to settle. Holding this curious compassion for whatever it is that bubbles up. So again, we're working with the fluctuations of the mind here, getting to know our true nature. And as much as yoga is the mastery of the fluctuations, the next line points out that at other times we follow the fluctuations of the mind. And it goes on to get into the yogic concepts of different lenses and ways we view the world and our experience. So, again, exactly what we're doing in our meditation practices. And even depending on the type of meditation, sometimes we are cultivating focus, really working to still the fluctuations of the mind. And other times we're observing them. We even offer both practices as part of mindfulness, being able to observe our thoughts, but also labeling them as thinking and bringing our focus to our breath or any of the other sensations or focal points that we've explored together. I wanted to let today have a little bit more free-form time to really get curious. What's going on in your mind today? Can you stay in this space of compassionate curiosity? What does it feel like to notice without expectation, without judgment? Getting acquainted with your true nature. Continuing to check in with your posture, noticing if you can use a little more expansion, sitting up a little taller. And notice if there's anywhere that you've tightened or tensed. And just inviting ease. Keeping that expansion and keeping that ease. Noticing your breath, allowing your thoughts to come and go, maybe allowing them to settle and soften. And making sure we don't drift into disassociation here. Allowing yourself to be in this space of noticing and letting that include your physical body instead of being an escape from it. Noticing where you're making contact with the ground, your chair, or cushions. Feeling those different points of contact. And from this grounded and expansive state, I like to move into loving kindness meditation or a compassion practice. I've got my notes. I've got a few different scripts. Hmm. So what this practice is it's a series of 4 statements that will direct towards ourselves, towards a loved one, towards a neutral person, someone who represents conflict in our lives, and towards all beings. So I'll recite each line and then pause so you can repeat after me either in your mind or aloud, depending on where you are right now. So I often like to place a hand over my heart space just to really feel that lovey goodness. So starting with yourself, may I rest in the stillness of being. May I open my heart, free from grasping. May I love and be loved. May I be at peace. Taking a moment to let all those thoughts, those wishes, those blessings sink in. And bringing to mind a loved one. This could be a friend, a family member, a pet. And with this person in mind, we will repeat the process. May you rest in the stillness of being. May you open your heart, free from grasping. May you love and be loved. May you be at peace. Again, taking a moment to notice how it feels to share these well wishes. Shifting now to someone neutral. May you rest in the stillness of being. May you open your heart, free from grasping. May you love and be loved. May you be at peace. And before we move into someone who represents conflict, the caveat I like to give: don't pick the most distressing person in your life. We don't want to start there. So no one who's been involved in active trauma or who feels very upsetting. Pick a minor conflict. And just like training at the gym, we'll work our way up there. So with this person in mind, may you rest in the stillness of being. May you open your heart, free from grasping. May you love and be loved. May you be at peace. Again, noticing how that feels. And it's okay if it's conflicted. If there's part of you that's not fully on board, that's okay. This is a practice. And now, my favorite part, all beings. May all beings rest in the stillness of being. May the hearts of all beings open, free from grasping. May all beings love and be loved. May all beings be at peace. Slowly begin to find a little bit of movement, blinking your eyes open if they've been closed, and bringing your palms together in front of your heart space. As we bring our practice to a close with gratitude, taking time to thank yourself for making time for meditation, feeling grateful for everyone who meditated alongside you today. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you.